Hey guys, and welcome along. It's Chris Brown here, and this is how to get your body back in 21 days part 2. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching part 1. I hope it was educational, and I hope this is equally as educational. Okay, so how I discovered the fat loss system that actually revolutionised my life, and actually took me from a personal trainer into a gym to one of the UK's weight loss experts, okay? So basically this is my story. I was struggling and frustrated at the time. I was training really hard in the gym, like ridiculously hard. I was working my balls off for 2 to 3 hours per day, okay? I almost lived in the gym. I was there Monday to Friday and often one or 2 days on a weekend as well. So as you can see, I was working very hard, but yet I still couldn't get in the shape that I wanted to. I never had the six-pack that I really desired, and basically it left me demotivated, and I was never seeing any results, and I just basically stayed the same for ages. I might drop a few pounds here and there, I might notice little changes, but there was nothing major, and for the amount of work that I was putting in, I really should have been getting a better return. Okay, so I got qualified. This is what I done. Okay, this is my story, my journey. Basically, because I was so frustrated, because I was getting nowhere, I decided I was going to embark upon a future of fitness and education, and I basically wanted to get qualified within as a PT so I could help other people and try and help myself really. So I qualified as a trainer, and I still had no answers to the questions, okay, because I found out that the course wasn't really that educational, okay, and I still couldn't get into the shape that I wanted to, and I started working with a few clients, and I really struggled to get them in the shape that they desired as well. So I began to research and found the top guys in the world for weight loss. I mean, the guys that were getting results that literally blew me away, okay? And I was looking at them and I was so sort of took back by what they were saying, because it was so controversial to what I was used to doing. I mean, I was cutting calories, I was training so hard. I was training probably 15 hours minimum a week. And these guys were preaching that their clients were working for like 10 to 12 hours per month. And I was doing more than that in a week, and their results were like 4 times the results I was getting. So I literally travelled the world to learn, invested well over £30,000 and spent thousands of hours reading, okay? So the last 7 years of my life has basically been dedicated towards learning and discovering these secrets that a lot of the people in the industry don't even know, okay? So I spent a lot of money, or should I say invested a lot of money with the top experts in the world, and actually found out how to get people in phenomenal shape. Okay, so the moment everything clicked together and changed for me, I basically discovered how to turbocharge metabolism. So I trained for 45 minutes and I was actually burning 48 hours worth of calories post-workout. Okay, this was revolutionary because the time that I was training previously for the 2 to 3 hours, the metabolic rate would increase, okay? And then as soon as I stopped training, everything returned to normal. Okay, when I discovered this system, I was actually training for 45 minutes, okay? But then it would raise my metabolic rate for the next 48 hours, okay? So for the next 2 days, I was actually burning fat, okay? Which was revolutionary because I was training less, but I was getting 4, 5, 6. I mean, if you go off the 2 to 3 hours that I was training versus the 48 hours worth of burning calories, I can't even do the maths how much, 20 times more calories burnt, okay? I was spending less than half the time in the gym and getting double the results, at least double, okay? I'd even go as far to say 3, 4 times the amount, and for like quarter of the time. I messed around with a few different nutrition protocols that I learned from the world's top experts, and I was literally blown away when I started combining these things together. The things that I'd learned from different people, I actually sort of started merging things together, and things that actually worked for me, and I put them together into one system, and I couldn't actually believe the results that I was getting. I mean, individually, I knew they were all powerful, but combined, I was actually blown away. Okay? Then I took the nutrition protocol, and put them together with an exercise system that I learned from some of the top exercise guys in the world, and I created the Rise and Shine Fat Incinerating System, okay? When I started applying this system, I realized that every time I put a client through this, the results that they got were unbelievable. Anytime that I deviated away from the system to try something new, things weren't quite the same, okay? So all these things clicked together, and it was actually phenomenal how good the results were. I'm actually going to show you some of the results later on. So I'm about to reveal the industry secrets that have allowed me to command £97 per hour for one-to-one weight loss consultations, okay? So that's what I actually charge for my one-to-one clients, £97 an hour, okay? So the old cardio thing versus resistance training. So I found that aerobic exercises I mentioned earlier on wasn't really as effective as I'd been told by people. I mean, everybody that you meet tells you that cardio is the best way to lose weight, but I actually found that resistance training was phenomenally more powerful, and basically, that was what was getting your metabolic rate pumped up for 48 hours. So I've created this little table here for the cardio versus resistance. So you're burning calories post-workout, okay? So cardio, no. And resistance training, yes, up to 48 hours, okay? The amount of time before burning fat, 2 hours plus by doing cardio, and anywhere between 0 and 45 minutes you're burning fat during resistance training, okay? Anything after that really isn't worth doing. Produces growth hormone. So what's really important about growth hormone? I'm going to tell you now. Growth hormone is actually what burns body fat. It's the hormone that actually is responsible for metabolizing fat, okay? And the more growth hormone you produce, the leaner you're going to become, okay? Cardio actually produces cortisol, which blunts growth hormone, okay? Resistance training produces lactic acid, which then releases growth hormone, and this is how we start burning fat for up to 48 hours after, okay? Increases metabolic rate. Cardio does for the short period of time while you're training, but after that everything returns back to normal. Resistance training actually increases your metabolic rate, and post-workout, it's called EPOC, exercise post-oxygen consumption. Resistance training actually keeps that metabolic rate really high, and that's how it's so effective, because we're still burning calories while we're sitting down on the settee afterwards, while we're chilling out, still burning calories for up to 48 hours after. Okay, it builds lean muscle and tones up. Cardio doesn't. Cardio actually uses muscle tissue as its energy source through the glycogen stores that are in the muscle tissue, okay? Resistance training actually improves lean muscle tissue, and you will tone up incredibly through it. And remember, guys, from what I said in part 1, muscle tissue is actually what burns body fat, because muscle tissue creates lactic acid, which releases growth hormone, okay? So the more lean muscle tissue you've got, the more chance you have of increasing your metabolic rate and burning calories post-workout, and the more calories you can burn. So there you go, 2 guys there, one running and one lifting weights. Dieting versus cleansing. So I blew the myth away of the calorie counting in the first video, and today I'm just going to show you a little chart that's pretty simple with the dieting versus cleansing. Okay, so dieting. Is it restrictive? Yes, because you're cutting calories and you're restricting the nutrition that you're taking into your body. When cleansing, you're actually increasing the nutrition that you take in your body, and often my clients end up eating more than what they did previously. When you're dieting, do you count calories? Yes, generally you do. You restrict your calorie intake and try to move more, and that's the whole theory behind dieting. When cleansing, you actually don't count calories or restrict calories. In fact, often you can increase the amount of calorie intake that you're having and still drop incredible amounts of fat and weight. Okay, so with the dieting model, will you rebound? Yes, more than likely you will. This happens a lot. You'll see people that are dieting leading up to a holiday, then they'll go on holiday and literally put all of the weight that they've lost on plus some. Okay, with cleansing you don't get a rebound, because remember, you're removing the toxins from the system and actually stopping the triggers from forcing that rebound effect that we mentioned in video 1. Rapid fat loss. With dieting you don't. You might expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. Yeah, that's what the average people tell you at the dieting clubs. I'm not really happy with that. With my cleansing protocols, I have clients drop up to 4 or 5 pounds continuously per week, okay? And that's because we're flushing the fat stores out, we're flushing the toxins out the system and getting rid of the toxins which are preventing us from dropping weight, okay? With cleansing also, you get the hormone balances in sync, okay? So dieting doesn't look at hormones and balancing hormones, and whenever you've got hormonal imbalance, you will store fat in certain areas such as the thighs, the butt and the belly, okay? Increased energy through dieting? No, because you're cutting calories, you're restricting your food, you're restricting nutrition, and generally you'll be left lethargic, tired, and also again you're not addressing the hormones like cortisol. Cortisol is important. I know it said that it stores fat around the belly, but it's really important that cortisol is high in the morning so that we've got loads of energy to get us out of bed. Cleansing will actually increase your energy because you're taking in more nutrition, you're flushing out the toxins which are making you feel pretty crap and pretty shit, and you're basically getting more energy through the nutrition that you're taking into your body. and you're not relying on stimulants every day, like coffee. Do this and you'll actually lose weight 2 to 3 times quicker than your current approach. Okay, so resistance training 3 to 4 times per week. Train for no longer than 45 minutes, because anything after that is actually catabolic to your body, which actually means that your body's going to go into breaking down muscle tissue. Okay, remember, muscle tissue is what will increase the amount of calories that we burn. And stop counting calories and start cleansing. Okay, I'm going to actually go into cleansing on video 3. So eat more green veg, eat more meat, fish, fruit, and drink at least 3 litres of water. A great way to work out your daily water intake is 1 litre per 50 pounds of body weight. What is cleansing, guys? Cleansing is the detoxification of the liver. When cleansing, your hormones will actually balance. So like I said before, your imbalance of hormones, like if estrogen's really high, you're going to store a lot of fat around your thighs and your butt, okay? When you cleanse, then you're actually able to manage the levels of hormones a lot better, especially when you start incorporating hormonal protocols. Most people realize now that hormones play a major role in, and dieting will not address the hormonal imbalance, okay? So like I said, if you're dieting and cutting calories, yes, you will lose weight doing that. You will lose weight, dieting, but it generally is water and muscle tissue. With cleansing, you're going to be losing pure fat, addressing the hormones that are actually making you store fat, and basically your overall health is going to be better, and you're going to target areas such as the thighs, butt, and belly. Cleansing is the process the body will go through to detoxify. Once this happens, the fat stores will flush out and rapid fat loss and weight loss will take place. So, how to cleanse, guys, here. Remove these 5 things in order to get rapid weight loss. Remember the diagram from video 1. Okay, so I'm not going to go through it again, but I'm sure you can remember me discussing what we went through in the first video. So wheat, that includes bread and pasta, cereals, dairy, milk, yogurt, the rest of it, all the dairy stuff, apart from butter you can have. Okay, as long as it's unsalted and organic. Sugar, that's everything. Everything that has sugar in. Alcohol, all of it. It has 0 benefits to the body. And processed food, so anything packaged, tinned, and basically things that have went through a processing in order to make them what they are. So generally things cooked and things that are pre-packaged are always processed. So try and eat organic, fresh fruit and veg, meat and fish and things like that. Stick to that if you can. Okay, by doing this, you will be looking in the mirror and noticing changes in your body. Actually, you'll just watch fat disappear day by day. Okay, it's literally like fat will be evaporating, okay? You'll get the amazing feeling that your friends will literally comment on how good you look on a daily basis. You'll also get back the body you used to have, and I think that's very important to people. People struggle because when they have babies, they have kids and things like that, they pile on a lot of weight due to the hormonal imbalance, and post-pregnancy, post-baby, your hormones are all over the place. And basically people struggle to get the body back that they used to have. By following the cleansing process, you're going to address all the hormones and actually get back the body you used to have. Okay, you'll rid the fear that your partner may find you unattractive if you don't lose weight or get the body he fell in love with back. And this might be a little bit controversial to say this, but I know this is a big thing for people. And when people start putting on weight, in particular in relationships, you always fear that your partner doesn't love you anymore. By following this cleansing process, you're going to blow them away with the things that you're going to experience. Your body will actually go better than what you used to have, okay? You get the feeling of waking up every morning knowing that fat is literally evaporated overnight. So by following the cleansing, increasing your resistance training, cutting out the cardio, literally every single morning you wake up, you will be leaner. You'll have lost weight, and you will basically have dropped fat because you're burning calories for 48 hours continuously with resistance training. You're cleansing your fat stores and flushing out those toxins and releasing all the fat from the fat stores, okay? In part 3, I'm going to highlight all of the options you have now to lose weight and how you can actually lose weight 4 times faster than you ever thought was possible, okay? I hope this video is educational. I want you to just now head over to watch part 3, which is below, and I'm going to discuss the options. I'll catch you there, guys. Bye-bye.